Hi everybody, Brian from Bear Bull Traders here. It is the weekend again, September 23rd. This of course is the weekend video. We'll take a look at what happened last week, and it was a rough week for the bulls, of course. And then we'll take a look ahead and see what we got coming up, and I think it's going to be another rough week, so let's get down to it. Okay, so looking at what happened last week, of course, last week's rate hike decision was a hold as expected. But Fed Powell's comments delivered after really gave a body blow to the bulls as he reiterated the inflation flight was not over. More hikes could be coming for the end of the year, and even a bit of a chance of less rate hikes expected in 2024 than what the market was anticipating. So, of course, yields on the Treasuries moved higher, so with the dollar, and the markets moved lower accordingly. And you can see here the Dow was off by almost 2%. Qs and the IWM really took it on the chin with over 3% losses, and even the S&P was down 3. So September has historically been a bad month for the markets, and it's living up to that reputation this year as well. So really try to get through September here and maybe on to some better months. But there wasn't a single sector that was green on the week. Everything was red. Consumer staples, which is of course a defensive sector, they held up the best. Even though they were down on the week. Consumer discretionary, again, one of the ones you'd expect to be hit the hardest with real estate. They were the biggest losers on the week, I think sort of in the order of 5% or more. 2-year and 10-year treasuries, again, you can see up again, 2-year well above the 5%, and the 10-year well above that 4.25, 4.3 level we were watching earlier. And of course, with the treasuries going up, so does the US dollar. And Bitcoin just down slightly on the week, really not much of a change from previous week. So that's how the week looked. It wasn't very pretty for the bulls. All right, and before we get going and looking at some charts here, like we usually do, I always like to throw in a quick plug for my book on Amazon. There it is, Profiting as an Active Trader. I do have another book on Amazon as well, calling How to Swing Trade, but basically rules, strategies, and the routines of an active stock and option trader. You can check it out there on Amazon. And if you had read one of my books, I always appreciate a honest review. So let's move on to some charts here, and let's take a look at what we got. Starting out with the treasuries as usual, we seem to be sort of bumping along here, staying above this 5% level on the 2-year. And still the momentum continues, and it looks like it's continuing to the upside here on the RSI. So seems like we may be moving higher. Again, Fed Powell indicating that there may be more rate hikes coming. Just sort of, again, data dependent, and we'll be watching Friday for that PCE number that's coming out that I'll talk about a little later. But you can see here the 10-year making a decisive move, breaking out here from this sort of 4.3 level that we've been banging our head against from back here in October of last year, and again this August, and now we are sort of breaking out again. Sort of same narrative. Looks like the Fed's maybe not done, and that's what the Treasury markets are telling us here. Transports. Really just in a downtrend here. We're just breaking down again. Had a pretty rough week, all down days on the transports, and you can see here we've had last 2 months now of the transports dropping, even though FedEx actually came out with some pretty good numbers this week in their earnings report. So where are we going? Could be coming down here to this 14,560 level on the transports. Transports a indicator of economic well-being, of course. The more stuff gets moved around the country, the better the economy usually is indicating, but again, not looking great there. The Dow could be coming down to this 200-day moving average, which would, of course, correspond to some of these levels back here. So again, 3 really bad days in a row here. Wednesday was the Fed announcement day. Thursday, follow-through sell-off, and even Friday where we tried to rally a bit and then sold off again. So back down to maybe this 200 moving average level on the daily. But anyway, and there's your weekly. Again, lower high. Here's your high. Here's your lower high. So we are continuing to break down momentum, continuing to the downside. Stochastics heading down. RSI heading down. So again, probably indicating we're going to have maybe another rough week or two here on the Dow, and it probably goes for pretty much all the indexes. Again, same comment on the Qs. Wednesday, bad day. Thursday, follow through. Friday, really couldn't put a rally together, although volume was low on Friday, big volume on Thursday. Interesting. And the Qs on the week, we're back down retesting this prior low here, but you can see here we put in a lower high right here, tried to rally back in early September and couldn't do it, so now we're rolling over again. So pretty important that somewhere in this area we hold, otherwise we could be in for even a flush down to this 340 level, and then you've got a lack of volume here, so 340 could turn into 330 really fast. So keep an eye on that level on the Qs. We're a pretty important level right now. Same with the SPY. We've actually broke down below this low. There is kind of a low here, but again, the SPY, same comments on the days. Pretty big volume on Friday too, both on the Thursday and the Friday. And stochastics, we are getting pretty oversold here on the stochastics. So usually when we get into a really oversold condition, this is usually we get a rally back. So I think we, maybe another couple days down and might get a nice rally back. Here's weekly on the SPY. Again, kind of lost this level here from middle of August. And, could be coming down to test this 420 level, which is an area we tested here and then sort of broke out from here. So watch that as an area of support. IWM, of course, really taking the real big hit here, and it's already broken down from this sort of support level on Wednesday, follow through Thursday, and again follow through on Friday. Getting really oversold. Doesn't mean we can't stay down here, but usually when we get down into this area, we see a bit of a rally. So watch for that. We could come down and maybe test this 175 level and bounce, but again, may not be something that will won't be a trend change. It'll be more of a bounce. And there's your weekly. Again, we're back into this area of congestion here. On the VIX, had a big spike up on Thursday, not surprising. Wednesday, Thursday, and bit of a stall out on Friday. Fridays are usually the volatility comes out of the market. Nobody wants to be taking positions over the weekend, or a lot of people don't. And so this volatility does come out of the market on Friday, but we're up near some highs here that we tested back in August, and I'd be watching for this. There's your 200-day moving average. See if that holds as resistance, or if we break through there. Another thing to watch. And here's your dollar. Look at this, just continued up, pretty much following the Treasury yields, because as the yields go higher, it makes the dollar more attractive, and that's what's going on there. So you can see here we really broke out from this level. Broke out, pulled back. You can see here in this weekly, pulled back to where we broke out from. That's a pretty typical pattern. And then broke higher. So there's your 30 level. We could be heading there. Volume pretty light on UUP. It's just a basket of currencies, mostly the euro and the yen. And here's Bitcoin again. We kind of had this big pop up, and then now we're kind of stuck in this range here for the last couple of days, and not kind of range bound here for the last couple of weeks actually. So that's it for the dollar and Bitcoin. So let's take a look at some stocks I'm watching. You notice I come back to the sort of same stocks. These are traded fairly. They have a lot of liquidity, and they're also good options trades. That's why I tend to use a lot of these common stocks that you keep seeing me come back to. I will throw the occasional different one in, but here's Apple again. Keeping an eye on Apple. This area here is looks like this 174 level could be an area that we end up breaking down through. But there's another point of support here, 172. If we really lose 172 and close below it, I mean, there's not a lot of volume here in this band. So we could easily lose 170 if we close below this sort of 172 level. And again, volume kind of lightening up. Momentum, we're really oversold on stochastics. MACD looks like it's trying to turn back up. Maybe RSI, same thing. So Could be some support here on Apple. Amazon really taking a hit here. I think part of it's got to do with some DOJ stuff, antitrust stuff. So it really got hit on Wednesday, and then Thursday, big sell-off Friday. Again, tried a bit of a rally, couldn't do it. But this area here around 127.50, 127 area looks pretty important. Again, big volume area too here. Lots of accumulation of shares. So if we do lose this sort of 125 level right here, there is not a lot of volume shelves here to support it. So volume's been pretty big on this sell-off. Again, we are getting really oversold, so could be due for maybe a retest of this area and then a bounce. This is one that sort of came up on my radar. This is really uranium's really been breaking out here, and I think it's probably just it's just an energy trade. Uranium is, a clean burning energy. It's had a really nice run. I wish I'd caught this double bottom here, and then this breakout level, but I'm late to the trade. But I did get it on. It did pull back here over the last couple of days, so I did get long a little bit of it. I'm afraid I'm chasing it though, so it may take some off here at if we get back up to 41. And see if it continues to run some more here on CCJ uranium. And Dell, just watching Dell, because Dell's, if you consider the charts we've just looked through, here's Wednesday down a little bit, Thursday really down a little bit more, but really not much. But Dell's really holding its own here. So possibility to sell some Dell puts here. That would be essentially being long Dell. It's at around 68. Dell really seems to be holding up here nicely, and this 72.50 looks like resistance. So it could be a good straddle trade. So you sell the calls and the puts, counting on it sort of trading in that same range. Intel, huge sell-off. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday couldn't manage to pull back or bounce back here. But again, somewhere around 33 to 32 could be a good entry if we do get a continued pullback. The pullback on Friday was a pretty low volume. We are again getting really oversold on some of this stuff, and it kind of looks like we might turn back up again here on Intel, so possible opportunity there. LAC, Lithium Americas, they've got a lot of stuff coming up, and I was reading their stock is going to be, they're going to split their company into two parts. One is going to be called Lithium Americas, which is going to focus on the deposit right in North America. And then they're splitting out this, I think they're calling it Lithium Argentina, I believe. It's or Lithium South America. It's another property they have in South America. I believe there's some significant interest by the Chinese in that South American property, so that's why they want to split it out of this company. And so you could get two companies by owning this one into October, and it's really pulled back here. And I think lithium, this could be a good play. Their properties seem to be very, very good, and lithium obviously important in the batteries, and especially important because China controls a lot of it. So if you get a Nevada operation supplying lithium, I think there's some long-term strength here. So again, risky play. Any mineral play is risky, but we've had a pretty significant sell-off here, so could be a good play. Meta's just range bound. It's kind of in a box. Again, opportunity to bracket that with puts and calls. Nvidia's had a big pullback. I think it's sort of into a range where there might be some support here around 405. Even maybe it might even get down to 400, but you can see here we tested that level, bounced off it here, and didn't have a bad day on Friday, even though the market was down. Nvidia did manage to pull out a gain. It was sort of an indecision candle on that doji, volume picking up a bit there, so it might Nvidia might be good for a bounce here. Oracle, same thing. We're maybe coming back down, maybe doing a double bottom here. So there's your stop, 107.50-ish area. And Tesla really rolled over Wednesday, Thursday, and really took a big hit Friday. Again, I'd watch for Tesla to bounce around this 240 level.
Looks like it's held there before. It's held there before, but before it broke down, it's held there here. So possible 240 level will be critical. Energy was not bad on the week. It's rolled over a little bit. Oil price still stayed up, but energy companies. This is Exxon, Phillips 66. It's all these companies. It's the energy companies that gold got sold off, and I mean they just get sold off for the rest of the market. Doesn't really matter what the commodity is doing or what the underlying fundamental is. If everything's selling, people just sell the button, push the sell button indiscriminately. So this could be due for a bounce here. We're back at a level where we had resistance here, and it does look like this 89 level might hold here. So watch for that. And that's it. And let's wrap things up here for the week of September 25th. You can see here, this is where we are with all the indexes, support and resistance levels that you can watch next week. As far as economics events go, there is home sales, consumer confidence on Tuesday. I think the big one coming up here is going to be on Friday. This is the PCE price index data that comes out. This is the favored index by the Fed as a gauge of inflation. So everybody's going to be watching for this number on Friday before the market opens. So watch out for that. And as far as earnings, we do have some interesting stuff going on. Not a lot of companies reporting, but we've got Micron reports after the close Wednesday. We do have CarMax and, of course, Nike. Big consumer stock is going to be posting after the bell Thursday. And again, another sort of economically cyclical stock, Carnival Cruise Lines, will be reporting on Friday morning. So a little bit of interesting stuff going on next week with the earnings. That's it, everybody. Hope you're all having a great weekend. And of course, we will be starting on Monday morning, pre-market show, live on YouTube, engineering the markets, and then into the pre-market analysis show, and then of course trading the market open at 9:30 with our members. So hopefully we will see you at one or more of those events. Take care and have a great rest of the weekend, everybody. Bye for now.